Welcome to the Empowerment Shift podcast. I'm your host, Boyan Dobrev, and I'm here to help you unlock greater levels of awareness, clarity, and empowerment. In each episode, we'll dive into inspiring stories and higher perspectives to help you break free from limiting beliefs so you can navigate challenges with grace and step into a life of alignment and empowerment. Ready to make the shift? Let's get started. One of the books that I most commonly recommend to people is a book called Your Soul's Plan by Robert Schwartz. And the reason for that is because it can completely change your worldview and your perspective on yourself and your life. It is one of the easiest ways to drop this feeling of victimhood and step into the empowered creator that you truly are. And in this video, I want to break down to you why that is. So let's get into it. Your Soul's Plan is Robert Schwartz's first book. He's also written Your Soul's Gift and Your Soul's Love, which I also highly recommend. And in each and every book, he has deep conversations with people who are suffering from a certain thing. It could be an illness or a severe diagnosis. It could be the loss of a child. It could be a severe accident. It could be losing their partner and having to raise kids by themselves. It can be physical abuse, sexual abuse, rape, and a whole bunch of horrible things. And what Robert Schwartz does with every person is he has a conversation with them. He does regressional hypnotherapy with them, where he brings them to a past life or in between lives in order to gain certain insights. But also, they're hiring a couple of skilled mediums who are able to psychically hear what was said and see what happened in that person's soul plan. Now, what is a soul plan? Imagine that before coming into this life, we are out there in the dimension of souls where there's pure love and bliss, and we're having a meeting with the people that are going to be in our life. Usually it's our parents, maybe siblings, maybe our future spouse. And in that meeting, the soul is saying, in this lifetime, I want to have this experience and this experience and this experience. I want to learn these virtues. And in order to do so, I would like you, pointing to the Father, to play this role for me, you to be like this, pointing to the mother or to the spouse, and every person will play a certain role so that the soul can learn that lesson or virtue. So this is the first thing that the soul comes to do, is to learn different lessons and virtues. Let's say the soul wants to really understand what forgiveness and acceptance is. Because out there in the realm of souls, there is only love and joy. There is nothing to forgive or to accept. And so the soul is like, I really want to understand what is forgiveness. So therefore, Dad, can you do something to me? Can you hit me? Can you leave me? Can you, whatever it is, so that I have the opportunity to forgive you? And then the soul of that person says, are you sure you want that? Because it's not going to be easy. And the soul says, yes, I do. And then the other person says, okay, because I love you so much, I will do this for you. So therefore, in life, it is very likely that something will happen that the person will do to the soul so that they have the opportunity to learn that virtue. And it can be so many different virtues. Forgiveness and acceptance are common virtues that souls are learning and mastering. It could be patience, it could be kindness, it could be detachment. There's so many things. And so the second reason why souls come into this life is to balance karma. And it's not the karma that we usually think of as punishment, right? I did something, therefore I will be punished for my actions. That's not how it works. The way it works is, let's say in a past life, we did something to someone All right, maybe it was physical abuse, maybe it was murder, maybe it was abandonment, like we left them. And after our life, back then, after that past life, what happens is we get greeted by these spirit guides who help us go through our lives and find peace, and there's just nothing but love. No matter what horrible things we did in a past life, there's only love for us. But then the soul goes, that was really not so nice, maybe there's a bit of guilt there, and the soul decides, in my next lifetime, which could be this lifetime, I want to be at the receiving end of whatever I did to that other person. And it doesn't have to be with the same person, it can be, but it can be a different person. Just because I want to balance this karma. I don't want to feel like there is a disbalance in my soul, in what I have done versus received. Same thing with money, right? Maybe in a past life, you were super wealthy and you disrespected people that were poor and you treated them badly and you were very condescending, and that just leaves an awkward feeling in your heart. So then you're like, well, in this lifetime I want to experience extreme poverty just so that I understand it better. I understand what people are going through. I increase my compassion, and then you come into this life in poverty. So at the end of the day, and this is the third reason, this is one that I will add to it, is the soul comes here to have certain experiences. And to the soul, everything is just an experience. The soul doesn't judge something as good or bad, right and wrong. That's only our personality or our ego, our mind that judges it. But to the soul, everything is just neutral. And so the soul is like, well, yeah, why not? Let's go down to earth and have an experience of poverty. Let's have an experience of extreme wealth. Let's have an experience of abandonment. Let's have an experience of having an amazing, loving family and just feeling pure joy and happiness. These are all experiences. And we've all had dozens or hundreds or maybe even thousands of lifetimes. And just like people that play video games, they're not always playing the same video game for their whole life. They change video games. One day they play this video game, another day another one, another month a different video game. And these are all just experiences. And we play these video games for what reason? Well, usually because we want to be entertained, because we find it exciting. And the same thing with the soul. It comes to life because it finds life exciting. It wants to experience life in this 3D reality and have certain experiences that it cannot have in the spiritual realm. That can be even things like taste, amazing food, smell, delicious things, touch, sex, thrill, adventure, skydiving, all of these things. There's just so much to experience in this 3D world that the soul is like, I want some of that. So then it comes into this life. So what does this all mean? When you're going through struggles, through challenges, and you feel like you're a victim to life or to what someone else did, first of all, realize that maybe it's a balancing of your own karma. And again, not punishment, but just a balancing. And therefore, see if you can bring compassion and acceptance to yourself in your situation, and maybe even for what you may have done in the past life. Just maybe ask for forgiveness or say I'm sorry for whatever you did in the past life. And then the second thing is, ask yourself, what lessons and virtues may I be learning through this challenging experience? What wants to come through me? Is it forgiveness? Is it kindness? Is it detachment? Ask yourself, what am I learning? What is my soul learning from this experience? And as soon as you do that, you're no longer the victim. You become empowered, because then you start to see the positive of a negative experience. And that positive will lift you up out of this state of victimhood, and it will completely change your life. And so if you want some more insights about this, I highly recommend you check out Your Soul's Plan, Your Soul's Gift, or Your Soul's Love. They cover different topics. You can probably see in the table of contents, and just reading what those mediums are conveying from what was happening in those Soul's Plan meetings is so powerful. I cannot begin to describe how powerful it is. You're like, wow, that is genius. And you realize that there's just so much more to life. There's so much more to our soul's wisdom, why we came here. And this whole experience is just so magnificent. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it brought you some insights. Let me know if you have any questions, and if you need some help in deciphering why something is happening to you, looking at the virtues and the lessons that you may be learning, just reach out to me and maybe we can work together. Let's have a call, free of charge, just a connection call, and then who knows, maybe I can help you in shifting your perspective and really feeling that deep healing that comes when you take ownership of your life and you turn a negative into a positive. Thanks for watching. Thank you for tuning in to the Empowerment Shift podcast. Remember, every shift in awareness is a foundation for powerful change. If this episode sparked something within you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend who could use a shift too. And please leave a review so we can spread this message of empowerment further. Together, let's create a ripple effect of transformation. Until next time, keep making those shifts, stay connected, and stay empowered.